talking about how we really turn it up. And I have learned something so important for myself and maybe for everyone here in the last 2 to 3 months. And that inspired what we are about to do together. Okay. And so, first of all, I want to tell you that way back, so 5.5 years ago now, when I was already down, so I'm now, I lost 140 pounds. My high weight was 280. And in the spring of 2018, I was already down 100 pounds, 100 and change, when my son had this idea. Mom, you need to celebrate your 100 pounds lost, he said. He said, you know what you should do? You should do a century hike, and a hike, 100-mile hike. Now, not go out and like do a, multi-day backpack of, 2 weeks and 100 miles, just a discontinuous collection of hikes. And it was kind of his excuse to take many family vacations. Bless his heart. What a great idea, too. And so that's what we did. We did that in the spring of 2018, and it took us about 6 months. Now, we were out doing other things over those 6 months, but we had sort of official legs of the century hike. And our official mile one was on California's Redwood Coast. So we were under those amazing redwood trees on the north coast of California for mile one. And that photo is documented in social media. There was a photo of my two sons and my husband and I just like looking at camera. We look so happy. It was amazing. It is just the peak of my lifetime happiness, because you can imagine that I was out there, that I had been 280 a year before. I couldn't even get out. And there I was, just like living my best. And so it was a trip through the Pacific Northwest that was the first leg of our century hike. And, I realized I need to shut an app right now. Anyway, I'm here live. I'm on the road telling you about this, and there's a reason. Okay. So we're out there living our best across the Pacific Northwest. And in that mile one photo, it showed all of our faces. And I was posting photos that mainly were showing like the trail that we were hiking on, and I would post those on social media. And my friend Heather said, Amanda, the trails are nice, right? But we want to see you. We want to see you out there. And I found that request a little bit awkward. Now imagine I'm going my whole life avoiding photos, of course. And I'm still thinking like, why would anyone want to see me out on a trail? I still feel that way, by the way. Okay. But something very powerful happened. So she kind of pushed me into it. And I thought, okay, well, let's try this photo or that, And so, but it took from the north coast of California to Olympic National Park, which is in northern Washington, before I ended up, that's when Heather was pushing me to post a full-length photo. And so that is where the first one appears, is Olympic National Park. And then there's more at Crater Lake, because we then came back around and came down, stopped at Crater Lake. We went on through the summer. We went on this cross-country road trip, and you may have seen a photo from a postcard from Yellowstone. That was part of the century hike. And so a couple of months ago, so you guys in the deep den know this well. So my big announcement, like, my pants are tight, I have to go on a diet. And we had a 30-day challenge, meet or beat my weight loss this 30 days. And I'll send you a car sticker. And we are currently in another 3-day challenge or 30-day challenge where you meet or beat mine or Wrangler Bear's weight loss. Wrangler Bear is a secret, trolling member of the community. Okay, that's a whole other story. Let's not get distracted by the fire that is Wrangler Bear. But anyway, we are in another 30-day challenge. And all of this with me like trying to lose weight. And it really makes me think back on, it's like an earthquake here. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but a bunch of kids just ran by this hallway. It's in a hotel. But anyway, okay, focus. I'm trying to lose weight, you guys. That's That's the point. I'm trying to lose weight. And the thing is, and we talk about this all the time, that depending on your weight, there's sort of more or less fire. You're 300 pounds and you can't walk. That's a huge amount of fire. Like, I want to get from not walking to walking, and losing the 100 pounds is going to help me walk significantly better. So that was kind of my case. I had an injured knee, huge amount of fire to get going. But you're lower on that, weight scale or whatever. How are you still in the grind? How are you still doing that? Do you even care enough? I think it's a really good question. And so I have wondered about how I lost like my last 20, my last 30 in particular, because at 170, 167, I was at my like adult set point weight back in 2018. Well, I got to 140, and I got there without even thinking or worrying about that set point. And I never really lived in or like relived that or really gave it a whole lot of thought about how I did that until these last couple of months, as I've worked on losing weight again, okay, and getting to that 140 or below, okay. And I've really looked back at how did I do it in 2018? What was my mindset? And you guys, this is very powerful. We launched that Century Hike in mid-May of 2018, but I'd already started getting out a little bit as spring broke. And my big goal was to hike with my sons. And so when weather broke here in California and I was able to get out and hike, I did. That's exactly what I did. And then I went on this Century Hike, and I'm just engaged with that goal. I mean, I'm out hiking, living my very best life. Now, I stayed strict in my eating. I mean, I'd been eating strict for months. I just kept doing that. I kept doing it and kept hiking. I wasn't thinking about the scale. I don't even know how many times I weighed. Not that many. I remember coming back from that cross-country road trip and just wondering, did I gain weight? I mean, on a trip, I had lost weight, and that is when I realized I was 140 pounds. And so how did I think back on those last 20 to 30 pounds were really, those are the hardest to lose generally, technically, because you're at a lower weight, your maintenance calories are lower, it comes off slower. I lost them so easily, in a sense. And it is because I was so focused on living in that goal in those months. I had built such an amazing life around that goal. And I kept that eating, like this, okay? Just kept it like that. Didn't change it. I'd been eating like that for months. Just kept it, okay? But the life around it was extraordinary. And so that life eclipsed that little strict box of eating, and it didn't even matter. Like, just keep doing that day after day after day, and just like live in this fullness of life. And so it occurs to me that what if I did that again for 6 months? That little idea like came in my mind. Why don't I keep doing that? Why don't I keep doing that? Well, I'm busy. I don't have money. There's just all these things. And so, we're planning for our big thing in April in the eclipse. And then I thought, wait a minute, there's an annular eclipse 6 months before our big goal deadline. Okay, so community wide, we had this deadline of April 8th, or like goal date, not a deadline exactly. It is kind of a deadline. But we're all going to be out living our most vibrant life in April of 2024. And if you're just joining us, you have 6 months for that. That's a powerful amount of time to make changes. And so a number of amazing things lined up that made me realize we got to do this again. And my son Frederick, he's like, Century Hike 2.0. Okay, that is what we're doing, and that is what these numbers are about. Okay, so here's these numbers. We'll talk more about these. Okay, but the basic idea is this: our eating, it's like this little box, okay, and our life is enriched enriched in any way we can enrich it, to like eclipse the little, like somewhat mundane, boring aspect of the things that we're eating. And we stay focused on our big goal. There is a new video on this very YouTube channel about your big goal. I encourage you to watch it. And so, your big goal is what you are going to be doing a year from now in your new life. And that is what the Century Hike represented for me. I mean, a hike in particular, that was my big goal. Your big goal may be to, you know, play on the floor with your grandkids. I mean, we all need to create big goals that come from our heart. Okay. And and in the beginning, I was not able to hike at all. I mean, I had an injured knee. I was 280 pounds, but I got out and I was able to drive around. Actually, in the beginning, I couldn't even drive. But once I could drive, I was going from trailhead to trailhead with my sons. And I was out there in those conifers, engaging, thinking about it, dreaming about it. And my century hike in 2018, when I'd lost significant numbers of pounds, was like me then really living in it, in gratefulness, in just like enjoying what all that work that I had done, like really appreciating it. That is what we're doing in these 6 months. Now, I do realize that, so me in 2018, I, part of that enjoyment and celebration was that I was at that point in my weight that I could really get out there. And I know a lot of people aren't there. And that's okay. Because what we can do is right now, this very minute, get engaged in any way that we can. And so I'm going to ask you today, because with everything, with anything that we do in our life, with any goals, with, certainly with weight loss, but with any kind of personal development, there's a lot of power in doing something right now. Okay. And so right now, that's what this number represents. Okay. Because as you'll see, because I posted on Facebook and you can see the link in this live video, my son and I drove up to Crater Lake for the annular eclipse and we launched mile 1 of the Century Hike. So it was Frederick's idea back in 2018 to have a Century Hike. And I felt like it just was right for him to help me launch mile 1. And also symbolic that it was during an eclipse. Okay. Because I just wonder, y'all put your comments in here. When, pray tell, do you think we will do mile 100, okay, of our Century Hike? Put your comments in there. Okay. And so Frederick and I launched mile 1 from Crater Lake on Saturday. As we drove back, we went on another leg because why not? Actually, we did a lot of things in between there as we could, but we went up Lassen Peak, which was an amazing thing. And it's an amazing story. I'll tell it in the next couple of days on that Facebook page because it was really, really great. I now have dropped him off. He's in college. He's got to go do college, adulting things. He can't be with us for these 100 miles, but we can all be together. And so today, okay, because between the Crater Lake and the Lassen Peak, we've done 7 miles and you didn't even know it. Okay, the rest you will know about. And today we're doing this. Now I have a planned hike today. I'm going to get out and do 4 miles, maybe more, but we'll just say 4 so that we already know the number for this weekend. Okay, so we'll not get ahead of ourselves. Today, join me. You don't need to walk 4 miles to join me on this leg of the hike. You don't need to hike. And so, I expect, Sandy, if you haven't gone out swimming today, you're going to swim today, maybe. Okay. And there could be lots of things people are going to do today because the spirit of the Century Hike, celebrating our century lives, is to get out and engage in your own big goal in some way, in whatever way you can. And I say get out and engage. You know what? If you can't get out, you can still engage. So if this video finds you laid up in a hospital bed, I mean, maybe you're recovering. Maybe you're about to go into surgery. There is a way you can engage. You can lay there and you can watch this video. You can watch videos on YouTube about something that represents your big goal, and that is a way you can engage right now, wherever you are, however you can engage. Maybe you can get out to your front porch or your a window and, I don't know, picture something. There's always a way to engage. Always. Always, always. So that's what you're going to do today. Okay. This on this leg of the Century Hike. I will be out in such a remote location. I may not see another human, but I'm going to be thinking about all of you today and all of the things that you're doing. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is get out, get a picture of yourself if you can, if at all reasonable, and post it for us and tell us what you did. Because here's the powerful thing that happened back in 2018. I should have started with this. So, not only personally did it get me to that weight, I didn't even plan that or realize it, but in social media, people saw me, like those full length photos that my friend Heather pushed me into taking. That was the key to Eat Like a Bear. People saw me out there doing that thing, okay? And so you'll see me again out there. But what the whole community, who else are they going to see? They're going to see all of you, uh, all of us out there. Uh, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. So this is today in our, where's this upside down? I don't even know. Okay, today. Okay. And by Saturday, we will be on this. Okay. So Saturday is the day that the Texas Bears are meeting up in Waco, okay, at a park near Waco. And so you can go into the Facebook stories group to see that event, but I'll be sending it out by email too. And so it's this Saturday, and I'm going to say it's noonish. Look it up, and I'll send out the email. And so they're getting together in person. Isn't that amazing? And so I thought, well, how can we join them without being able to go to Waco? Okay. And so here in Central California, we're going to have a little last minute meetup at Bass Lake on Sunday. I believe we still haven't even set a time or whatever, or an exact place, but also look for that in email if you're at all inclined or anywhere near us. And if you're not near us and you say, gosh, I would have been there, you guys, this is the beginning and not the end. It is the beginning and not the end. And so that's what we're doing. And so this weekend, so today you're getting out as part of this, okay? And you're going to post a photo for us somewhere, like in the Facebook stories group, in the den. You can email it to me, or just like if you're on Instagram, just post it and put hashtag Century Hike, okay? And then Saturday, Sunday, okay. And we are doing this. We're doing it together. We are telling the stories of Century Hike 2.0, and we are doing it for ourselves, each of us, to stay focused, to try to enrich our lives from, more from this, like, little like monotonous eating, which it feels like on very bad days it does. I know, okay. Enriching our lives with something so much more, so that all of that enrichment just eclipses this. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to look real quick at comments and see. Let's see. Yes, so Jackie Pick says mile 100 by December 31st, 2023. Jackie, hold on a minute. Let's see. And just looking up at other guesses and other comments. And Janet did watch the Ring of Fire eclipse. I love it. Boy, my goodness. Let's see. Oh, you guys, how great. Okay. So Janet says mile 100, April 2024. Of course, we are going to end it at the total solar eclipse. So we'll have an eclipse on each end. When I realized that, when had the little idea and then thought, how would we do this or whatever? But we have to start it at the annular eclipse. We have to, and we have to end it in April in the Ozarks. Okay, because you guys, what's happening is we are meeting in for the total solar eclipse. Uh, in person, but digitally too. Okay. It in April of 2023, I announced like let's all focus on April of 2024 and use that as a deadline because an eclipse cannot be rescheduled. Something that I learned very strongly with this first eclipse because it was all I could do to get out of my house. I'd been sick and everything else and just overwhelmed. And how am I going to get to Oregon? How am I going to pick up Frederick and get to Oregon? And we did it, and it was amazing. But that deadline, the sun, the moon can't be rescheduled. They give us powerful deadlines. Okay. So we have a really great, wonderful deadline in April. So um yeah, okay. How funny. Yeah, so mile 100 by Thanksgiving 2023. So here's the thing, because I think that's a great guess too. Because really, if I am trying right now to on these days as I get home to hike about 5 miles a day. I'm really trying to push myself and get that consistency and get a good amount of like thigh busting hiking in. But I'm not going to count them all for the century hike because yeah, we'd be over with too quick. Why would we want to? We want to savor this, and we're going to end it in April. Yep. And so every single day you can be doing things and you should, okay? For sure. And as you implement this in your life, we just need photos and stories, okay? And so as an example, I am on about mile what mile would it have been? Mile 4. The hat. Have you guys seen my Stetson hat? Really nice hat. And a Stetson hat, those are not super cheap. Well, Lassen Peak is extraordinarily windy, and that hat just flew right off, and it is gone, 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 gone. So gone. But then it became a little story in itself. I'll post that in the next couple of days. So things like that, we need to hear about it. Did you lose something on the trail that was kind of cool or that was even kind of silly or whatever? We need to know it. We need to know it. Okay. Um, let's see. Yeah, Cosette is saying maybe you can do 105-mile hikes by April. Yeah, totally. Um, totally. Because when I'm trying, like for myself, when I get out on these legs to push myself a little bit, but everybody needs to join in. We're going to not make it overly complicated for everybody to join in and to join in any way that you can. Okay. Now, because for instance, we have some very interesting variations on, getting to goals by April, and we have both Anna Sewell and we have Jen Morris. And so Anna is in California and Jen Morris is in Georgia, and they're both traveling virtually to the Ozarks by April. Very interesting little treks. So doing things like walking so many miles to, get there on the map, and following it digitally. It's kind of amazing. And okay, so we're doing this, but I want to now bring some people on. Okay. And all of this is unfolding as you can guess that my last minute push myself out of my sick bed up to Oregon, that maybe not all the details of the century hike are completely planned, much like we don't have our itinerary yet for April, but we will very, very soon. Very, very soon. This is all in development and it is all our moment to be awesome. Okay. And so, and I fully recognized that I feel like the Texas Bears just like fell in somehow. I don't know how they even knew it, how they even knew that they would end up being right there, ready for the century hike. Okay. But they are. And so I'm going to bring up one of our special Texas Bears because she's going to have to hightail out of here. So I'm going to bring up Teresa, and because what I'm going to ask everybody, we have a few special people backstage, and anyone in the Deep Den can find a link in this live video post to join us backstage and to say what it is you're going to do today, what you might do this weekend, or both, or whatever, what you're doing to go be awesome. And next up, we're going to have Teresa from Texas.
Hi.
Hey, Teresa, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad I was able to get on, and I do have to run before the top of the hour. But I came on just at the right time because I just read the post about the Century Hike, and you were talking about your miles, and I started counting the days on the calendar because what I did the day after Saturday's eclipse, the eclipse was amazing. We only had 81%, but I had my glasses, and it was just amazing. I literally flagged down the FedEx guy and said, "Have you seen the eclipse? Look at it through these glasses." And he got out, he didn't even know it was happening because it was so bright, even with 20% of the sun. I was just, I don't know, it was amazing. The next day, I went and walked around the pond down by, it's a couple miles away from here. And I hadn't been walking on real land for a long time because I work out in the pool and my knees hurt. But I went and I thought, I bet I can walk around this pond. And there's a little sign that tells you it's 0.64 miles, I think it is. So it's not a long way. But if I do that every day, starting today, because I haven't been the days between, I will make it by April, even if I just do 0.64. But I bet as I keep going, I'll be able to do a little bit more. So my goal is to make 100 miles by the eclipse, which I didn't have that goal until literally I got on this call and I heard this discussion. So I'm very excited about that. That's just a really cool thing. And if I do that, plus keep doing what I'm doing as far as eating like a bear, I'll be well on my way to, under 200 pounds by the end of the year, maybe, or at least, by the end of January. So it's all good. And I'm wearing my Texas Bear meetup shirt because we're going to Waco in a few days. And I'm so excited. That's all I got, unless you want to ask me some questions.
Well, that is so awesome. I am so excited for you. And I feel like, because we talked about we got to do something with the blue bonnets in April. And
Yep.
because you guys who are watching out there, so Teresa is in the band of totality for the April eclipse, which is such an amazing thing to be in your own home, your own family in that band. And so I've said, like, you can't come. I mean, I should like ban it. Like anyone who lives in the band of totality should be banned from coming to the Ozarks because that's such an amazing thing. And so Teresa isn't going to join us in those days in the Ozarks, but we're thinking we maybe need to drive in strategically and visit Teresa on the way. And so maybe Teresa needs to be in person. We need to be like mile 97 or something like that in those blue bonnets or something. So that would be totally cool. So and all these things, all these things, we'll get it all worked out and get our itineraries lined up. But I'm so excited because ultimately, with all of this, with everything that works out or doesn't work out, the key is, Teresa, for you to be there in Texas being awesome and, continuing to be awesome and just living your best life, your century life. So thanks for coming today.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so have a great time in Texas. So you guys, wait, Teresa, what time in Texas and all that?
I think it's at noon. Jen is on the YouTube feed and she knows for sure. I think it's from noon to 4, but I know that there are going to be people who are there a little bit earlier. I'm probably going to get there a little bit earlier, and goodness knows we'll probably stay late for some of us anyway. It's about an hour and a half drive for me, and so I'll probably want to leave so I'm not driving in the dark. But it's supposed to be, I think, right in the afternoon, noon to 4, and it is on Facebook. It gives you directions on where to go because it's actually in a town called Woodway and a park there. So it's going to be wonderful.
Okay, wonderful. Have a great day, Teresa. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, and just real quick, Tina K says, I will do 2 miles per day. Tina, friend me on Facebook. I sent you a friend request. Go find it so I can send you a message because, Tina, we need to set a time for Sunday. And so I need to get with you and Anna Sewell and Christine Fraser. So, because maybe we'll be the 4 of us. I don't know who else might show up at Bass Lake this coming Sunday. We'll see. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Mar says, not sure where to start on the Like a Bear. EatLikeAbear.com. There is a 3-day challenge Start there. And we have so much information about what we eat. You've come to the right place. You've totally come to the right place. This is very exciting, and we are happy to have you. And anyone else who's new here, that is so awesome. So glad to have you. And this is the exact right time to join us here at Eat Like a Bear, because we're on fire here. We're doing it. We're doing it. Like, grab onto the wings of all this, like April 2024 and our century hike. Okay, I'm going to bring up Jen, who's going to talk more about her own, what she's going to do today and this weekend, because she also is headed to Texas. Okay, here we go. Hey, Jen. Okay, give us the skinny. I'm gonna mute myself as you give us the skinny. Okay.
Okay. Well, a little history about how we got the Texas meetup going. I was literally drafting a post for the Facebook Stories group when I saw Christy's post pop up saying, "Hey, want to do a meetup in Texas sometime?" So my husband and I are traveling to Texas for my father-in-law's birthday and then our granddaughter's birthday. It's the following weekend. So I thought, oh, this would be a good time to maybe meet up with some of my friends. And actually, Teresa and I had talked about at least getting, together for lunch sometime because we're not that far apart when we're at my father-in-law's. So when I saw Christy post that, I'm like, yay! And lots of people were commenting. And she even mentioned Waco, which I had looked at because Waco is kind of centrally located between us and pretty close to Georgia and halfway-ish between us up in North Texas and Emily, who's down in Austin. So, we were trying to find a good spot and it just all kind of came together. So Christy and I have been working in the background trying to coordinate everybody. And as of right now, the last I checked, we had 20 people saying they're coming. So that's exciting. We have maybe 5 maybes, and I'm hoping that, we'll see some more. Just some quick details. It is noon to 4 officially. That's when we have the pavilion reserved, but some of us will get there early and stay late perhaps. And we may try to walk one of the little trails around there, depending on how everybody's feeling and what the weather's like, which it looks like it's going to be sunny and quite warm. So Christy is bringing a cooler full of water. If you want anything other than water, you will need to bring something for yourself and bring whatever meal that you are eating if that's in your window and you want to join us and have your meal. And I think Teresa's bringing some name tags so we know who everybody is. And we're just going to enjoy, chatting and talking about our stories and where we're going. And some people may be very early in their journey and some people may be farther along, but it's exciting. So yeah, we're really excited about getting out there. We're going to start our journey out to Texas tomorrow. And we've got a new RV that we're trying out and going to enjoy some outdoor time as well. So regarding the Century Hike and stuff, I am doing the virtual walk cycle to Arkansas, and I am a little over halfway there right now. So I've made, I needed to average 3 miles a day to get there when I started in August. So I'm a little ahead of schedule, and most of my miles have been cycling, but some walking. And so what I may do is make sure that I have at least 100 of those miles be, walking to join in on the Century Hike piece. So, I'm feeling excited because I'm making good progress again, and I'm back to that 100 pounds down mark, and gaining new ground but losing more pounds. So
all right, that is so exciting. And I know you're one of the ones who really latched into the whole, like, 1 year, the big goal back in the spring. And I'm feeling energized by just having, like, for this last half, having that little extra, you know?
Yeah,
Are you feeling it, Jen?
I am definitely
Yeah.
there. I think there's definitely a exciting fire kind of going in the community, and I think people are motivating each other and keeping each other excited about the gains. The scale victories, but the non-scale victories are so much more important, just in the way we're feeling and the way things are fitting. And sometimes that scale is not our friend, but we can still be making some great progress. And so anyway, I'm excited, and I too am wearing my Texas shirt to to celebrate. Probably won't be wearing this one, which has got the raglan sleeves. I probably won't be wearing it Saturday because I think we may hit 90 on Saturday in Texas. So it's definitely short sleeve. But yeah, I'm excited. Lots of hugging probably going on Saturday. We'll get some pictures. It will be close to our hub time, so maybe we can pop in and have a little video going. I don't know. We'll see. And so, yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, I'm excited too. I'm excited for you guys. And then again, we're going to be at Bass Lake Sunday, it appears. So stay
That's
tuned for
great.
all that. How exciting! How exciting, Jen. Okay, thanks so much for coming today. And thanks for keeping us all inspired too, like with your digital traveling to Arkansas and all that. And so I'll just say it again that like if my like 7 little photos from 2018 could be the beginning of this, we're going to set the world on fire, all of us together. This is amazing. Okay. Okay, Jen. So I'm going to next bring up Anna Sewell, who is the other one digitally traveling to the Ozarks. So we'll catch you, see you around. Maybe we'll see you in your photos for sure from Saturday, and maybe in the Project Hub. That would be a cool little cameo, at least for y'all to show up. That would be awesome. Okay. Okay. I'm saying good. I'm removing Jen from here. I always feel bad about that. Okay. And I'm going to bring up Anna Sewell. Okay. Bye-bye, Jen. Hey, Anna.
Hello, hello.
So now Jen was like, so who's bringing the name tags and the cases of water or whatever. So this coming Sunday, I'm bringing Anna Sewell. That's what I'm bringing. So
Yay. I'm very excited. I'm so excited. I just calculated it. I have gone 701 miles. Now, mind you, not all of them are actual walking miles. Some of them I get for actually having a full night's sleep, which I haven't got very many stickers for the full night's sleep, I have to say. But I on gosh, was it Saturday? I walked 7 miles. So and that was absolutely just walking. So I had about 3 miles, 3 different walks. I walked at different events, and it was wonderful. It was a bit of a push. So that is my goal: is to increase my stamina and the number of miles I can do in a day, because I want to be able to do whatever comes up. Yeah. And I also wanted to say, right before we started, I wrote something before we came on, and it was exactly kind of what you were talking about. I wrote down, the more engaged I am in my life, the more I have a plan for handling stress and feelings, that the easier and happier my life is. And that food becomes more of a non issue. So,
yeah.
yeah. I also want to say that by Sunday, I will have walked my way all the way. Okay, I already walked out of California. I've already walked across the bottom of Nevada, and by Sunday, I will have walked across Arizona. So, yep. That's where I am. And then all that's left is New Mexico, the top of Texas, Oklahoma, and then I'll be in Arkansas. But I've got to keep my pace up. I definitely do. Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we will help you Sunday. So, because we're gonna have to walk around that lake at least a little bit.
Oh
And
yeah, and
yeah,
the weather there is going to be very wonderful. I think. I just
nice.
looked it up, and it says Sunday high of 64, low of 43.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
perfect,
Perfect.
perfect.
Perfect. And I wonder if there'll be a little bit of fall color. So we'll see. I'm not sure what kind of trees who knows? It will be awesome.
We'll
It will
see
be.
things, we'll smell things, we'll hear things. It's going to be wonderful.
So, but what are you going to do today to just kind of dig into this energy?
I am going to go to one of the 3 or 4 parks that I've been exploring, and I'm going to definitely end the day with a nice sauna session. When I go into the sauna, just I close my eyes, I smile, and sometimes I do a meditation, but I'm just there and I'm kind of embracing the way it feels, and it relaxes me. And I'll tell you what, that's very different from how I would have reacted to being put in a box of heat, like even last year. There's no way I could have done it, and now I enjoy it. So,
Nice. Nice. Well, so Tina has made this comment that
mhm.
talking about the bear connection. She says she felt a bear connection on Saturday during the eclipse
Yeah.
with, she says, my bare feet connected with all the other bare feet bears.
Yes.
And what I'd like to do, because we're going to start working on the itinerary for April, and it's going to be things like Saturday, we're meeting in Whit Springs to view the waterfalls. It will be stuff like that, what you would expect from an itinerary. But we have now, what, 5.5 months. And what I'd really like to do is also develop resources so that we can all connect digitally for April, but also
Yeah.
for any time. And I saw, was it Tina's bare feet? Someone posted their bare feet. And I thought, oh my gosh, Georgia posted her bare feet. And literal bare, like no shoes feet, not like, anyway.
Both.
Yes. And things like that, like let's get out and do this, and like showing our feet and like and feeling that. And anyway, I feel like there's some things we can do that together, if we said like, well, that was really impactful and it was a really good way to stay connected, then we will create a resource and we will do those actively in these months leading up to the eclipse and this century celebration that we have, but also as tools for us as a community to stay connected in an ongoing way. So I see these months as a really good time to, like, a deadline for getting these tools together because of April, but they're tools that we will have together. That's powerful. So I feel like the bare feet is one of those. So I wanted to bring
My
up.
feet were bare when I went on my eclipse walk. And I might add that my eclipse walk was not, it was supposed to be this beautiful recommitment ceremony. And it started off with me very upset. It was a pissed off walk, but it became, I took off my shoes and I just walked. And then I looked up and said, oh yeah, there is an eclipse. And I took pictures. And by the time I came back, I was more myself, and I just felt so much better. And that just reminds me that I can push through things and make a difference. And that's been very helpful.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, so I was not barefoot for the eclipse because it was like 4 inches of snow at Crater Lake, and my feet were freezing even in the sneakers. Okay, we have two really great important questions. And first, about the virtual walk to Arkansas and how do we do it, but also people who can't get out, how do you stay connected? So we're going to do the virtual walk first, but then how to stay connected if you can't get out. That is the most important thing that we do here at Eat Like a Bear. So we'll talk a bit about that. And in fact, Brenda is going to come on to talk to us, and I think Brenda would have some insight on that too. So I'm just planting that seed for Brenda. But Anna, can you tell us just a little bit structurally how you mapped this out and what you did to create your virtual walk?
Yes. Okay. I started off because the idea hit me while we were on one of these live videos. But I just saw on the map, and I typed in on Google Maps where I wanted to go. I hit that I was walking, not driving, and then it mapped out the path. And then what I do is you don't have to have one, but I do have like a Fitbit tracker, and I track the amount of miles I'm going. Also, if I get on a machine and I'm going on a bicycle or whatever, I just take a picture of the screen when I'm done, and I can add those miles on, because the Fitbit won't track miles that I've done on the bike unless I put it in manually. And then I have some things like, here I'm meditating, here I'm breathing, here I'm doing like cold showers as saunas. And when I do all of the things that I'm supposed to do, that I've told myself I want to do every day, and these are things that make me feel better, if I do them all, I also give myself a mile. And if I sleep at least 7 or 8 hours, I give myself a mile. So I'm walking actual miles, and then I'm also adding a mile for a few different things that are strategic that I have a hard time doing. If I don't, it just like, if you're not tracking it, sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm doing all of this and nothing's happening. These things are helping us every day when we do these little things, but tracking it does make it easier. And I have a whole bunch up here. You can see all of those are my miles and my mess, but I got miles there. So that's how it is. And I mean, that's just how I did it. I found something that motivates me. And when I'm planning like that, and I'm doing things that lower my cortisol, my stress hormone, and then looking towards my goals, those things raise my dopamine. So all these things that I'm doing are helping me. And really, it just started with a breath and an idea. And we can all start with the breath and an idea.
Well, and I think we can bring Jen up here again real quick, because she has another variation. But
Right.
let me point out, Anna has a lot more miles from California to Arkansas, and that's why she's kind of mixed it up with
Mhm.
other things. And
Yeah.
and so Jen, let me pop you up here with us, and just if you have anything to add to what Anna has said.
Because I still have more than 1,000 miles to go, and I don't have that many months, but I wanted to do that. So that's why I added those other things.
Yeah. I have a little over 700 miles, and I started in August. So I decided, because I didn't want to personally get bogged down in some of the extras that you're doing, which I think are fabulous, by the way. So I'm just counting the miles biking or walking. And I am just keeping those miles in my little spreadsheet. And I know that to get there, for the number of weeks that I had to get something like 21 miles a week. So three miles a day ish. So I always like to beat myself, right? Little internal competition. So my goal is to always get more than those miles, because there may be times when I simply can't, like, because we're going to be doing a lot of traveling in the car over the next few days. When we get set up in a campground, I'm going to try to walk at least a mile, but I may not be able to walk 3, depending on what time of day we get there and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm keeping track of my miles, and what I'm trying to do also, because I enjoy it and it's motivating to me, is I'm keeping a travel log, and I'm looking up neat little interesting facts and figures about the roadways that we'll be on, and the little cities that we'll pass or towns we'll pass, and if there's famous people from that little hole in the wall place, or I'm documenting that, and it's something I'm sharing in the den. But I find it empowering somewhat to put it on paper and share it with my bear friends, and it's educational for me as well. So it's something I'm enjoying doing. But I don't have an app or anything either. I just plotted it on Google Maps, and then, if I got 50 miles in this period that I'm looking at, then I'll just see, okay, where does that put me? Okay, I'm going to write up something getting me to that spot. And which of these little towns do I want to talk about? So that's kind of what I've been doing.
And I think when we share with others, because I was seeing where it says here, please help those of us who can't get out and walk to be connected to the community. When we share our walks, we can visualize where other people are walking, and as that we are kind of joining them, because I feel like when Tina went to Hawaii, I felt like I was in Hawaii, and I'm not going to Hawaii anytime in the foreseeable future, but I felt like I was on that beach, and just seeing her engage helped me engage. And I will say that our minds are very powerful, and there have been experiments where people are actually just sitting there imagining, like I've been doing. They'll imagine some sort of exercise or some lifting weights, and then they actually had changes in their physiology just from imagining. And I know that there's so many ways you can do that. There's videos. I know I helped somebody before who was in a rest home get back on their catamarans, that they used to ride a catamaran, and he put on these goggles, and he could look around and feel like he was there. Things like that, those are wonderful, because like I said, it begins with an idea and just a breath.
You know, one of the thoughts I had too was my mom has tried to get a little more mobile, and being able to sit in a chair and do certain exercises is a good way to, start some mobility. So, in my mind, if you sit in your chair and you do some of those motions, then, you know, if you're at it for 15 minutes, maybe count it as half a mile, or if you're at it for 30 minutes, count it as a mile. And that's your way of virtually hiking along with us as well. I think those things are valuable, and everybody starts somewhere, wherever you are, those little steps, because, I certainly was not being able to walk and cycle. I didn't start any exercise until I was 50 pounds into my loss,
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Even having your coffee outside, even anything that you can do to connect and to be out and make your life more enriched is wonderful. And it's not just wonderful for you, but it's wonderful for the community when you share it.
Mhm.
So I want to bring Brenda up with us real quick, and because we have now 4 minutes
Oh,
until our project hub starts. Because you guys, if you're not part of the Deep Den community, you don't realize. So at the top of the hour, we go into another thing, and it's called the project hub. But I want to bring Brenda on because I'd love to hear from Brenda. Hello, Brenda, and the rest of us are going to mute. But Brenda, real quick, what are you doing today and this weekend to be engaged? But also, quick tips on this question of what do you do if you're limited? And I'm going to mute myself. Take it away.
Okay, when I started, I couldn't barely get out the bed, so I started doing wall push-ups, just barely a few minutes of wall push-ups. But my doctor had told me to do the little bit several times a day, not to try to engage in a long amount of exercise, but to partition it. And even now, I have my Alexa, because if I say her name, she's going to talk to me. It sets a reminder for every 2 hours during the day that it's time to do my 15 minutes of exercise, and I do 15 minutes of planks and squats and stuff, just 15 minutes, and that's enough, Phoop. And then also, I have 1,216.1 miles to Arkansas, and I have been riding my bike, just following along, nothing fancy, no stickers, no nothing, just written down, scratched down in my diary. That's it. And so I've got a ways to go. I may not make it by then, but we'll see. Uh, I might have to pick up on Anna's cheats. And then this weekend, I am going for float therapy. And yes, that is going to be amazing. I got a 60-minute float therapy, and I'm going to enjoy that very much because it's just down the road. And
You're
yeah,
going to get so
that's
much
my being awesome.
magnesium
Yeah,
too. Right? Isn't that what they use?
yeah, yeah. Lots and lots of
So,
Epsom salts.
what is float therapy?
It's amazing. They've got like this egg they put you in, and the water is filled with Epsom salts. I mean, like tons of magnesium Epsom salts and stuff. And so you naturally just float. And then you get to pick your sound. Like I always pick ocean, but you get to pick your scent, your sound, and you're encased just floating. You can change the colors or have nothing at all, which is my favorite, just black, and just float. And it works so well with headaches too. And so that's my. And then I've also started the cold showers, which are really good because I can't take extra hot anything because I have psoriasis. So uh, I'm used to taking lukewarm showers. So now I've just added on at the end of the shower, turn the hot water off and just take a cold shower, and it's very invigorating. Yeah. And I'm hoping that I will get to where I'm less cold sensitive because it's it was in the 60s this morning. I was dying.
Okay. Thanks so much, Brenda. And yes, I was going to make the Anasul Mickey Mouse comment too. Sorry, but like yes. I noticed it too, Charlotte.
MIC. See you real soon. Why? Because we like you.
It is the perfect way to close this because guys, it's Project Hub time. But what everyone is going to do today is get out or engage somehow. So if you can't get out, no, this is the beginning. And you know what? Why? Okay, in a minute, Brenda, but the big goal video from Saturday, find it on this channel because I do give a story of someone who couldn't roll over in bed. Okay. And so do watch that. And the whole thing, you're picturing your positive, vibrant future, and any way you can engage with that is what we're doing here at Eat Like a Bear in the Century Hike. You don't have to hike. You don't have to hike a whole 100 miles. It is all of us here gathering together to get those photos out there, that inspiration for other people following us. And because that's what the original Century Hike was. That's what it was. Brenda, go for it. And we got to go,
Just
guys.
a quick warning for people who are excessively high weights. This is very important. Get your doctor's permission. Get your doctor to schedule you with maybe a routine. I, being the smartass that I am, decided to do yoga at 400 pounds and broke my arm. Do not do that. It hurts. Really, it hurts. And downward dog is not good at 400 pounds. I'm sorry. So get medical supervision at an extra high weight before you start any exercises. Honestly, your body has been sending it for so long that you need to do it slowly, responsibly, and with medical supervision. That's my little 10-second, the more you know.
Yeah, and watch the big goal video from Saturday because you'll see that it is about setting that goal and living in it. But living in it, you're right, Brenda. It doesn't. If you're 400 pounds, you're not walking 4 miles today with me out here. I wouldn't think. And so I didn't do any exercise. Just like Jen said, she didn't do any for 50 pounds. I didn't do any for about 75. And you can stay focused on that eating, lose the weight. But the thing that's going to help keep you focused is that positive goal that you have in front of you. I mean, having that consistency, that's like hard work. It's work. What's going to drive that consistency and that goal? That is your vision for the future. But yeah, it could be a significant number of pounds before you are literally doing it in the way that you have that vision in your mind. And this is our process of getting there. Okay. And so we got to go to the Project Hub, everybody. Okay. And so but I'm going to go and I've got to go repair the car windshield or turn the car in. It's a whole other story. There's been a number of unexpected costs of the current Century Hike reboot. I'm paying some of them today. Okay. So I'll see you guys soon. And I'm going out. I'm hiking. I don't care about windshields or anything else. And I'm hiking today and I'm going to take photos for y'all. But when I'm taking those photos, when I'm hiking along, I'm thinking of everybody here and all the things that you're doing. And today, this weekend, every single day. Okay. Let's do it. Let's go crush it together. Everybody, you guys take care. Love you guys. Love everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.